Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to the Classic Cars Championship here on F1 2018 with me, as ever, in the 2006 Renault. And this is going to be the championship finale around Silverstone Short, just to add a little bit more chaos. So for the final time, this grid of 20 random championship winning cars go for the final formation lap. And of course, with the short laps, it's only lucky in the running order. So it's the Red Bull on pole, with the 2008 McLaren in second, and me in third, 2002 Ferrari in fourth, and the 07, and then the BAR Honda, because I've replaced the Ferrari for this round with the BAR Honda since the Ferrari was out of the championship anyway. Then in C2, it's the 98 McLaren that takes the honours for that class ahead of the 95 Ferrari, and the 96 Williams, and then the 92 Williams. So that's Williams got quite a job on his hands now. He wants to move his way up the order, and then you got all the usual cars there in C3. And now we're starting in P3. They were just under 2 tenths off the pole time of that Red Bull with that 2008 McLaren. I don't know where that's pulled a lap out of, because it's been pretty terrible so far for the rest of the championship. And with that BAR Honda, complete unknown for this round. Of course, the points that he scores will go towards the Ferrari since it was fast and everything else for 2003 when they're coming to the 5 red lights. I sat on the way to go after a pretty long hold that was, and now a lot of tight there for everyone. And once again, for the final time this season, as every other round, we've got absolutely no after holding a piece of carbon fibre. They've gone flying already. Hopefully that wasn't off our front wing. Now we make our way through the first few S's there now, stuck up now behind the 95 Ferrari. Crucially though, we haven't dropped all the way back. We can still just about see the cars we want to be racing in front of us, but we're losing so much time here behind behind the 95 Ferrari, which of course was the last V12 powered car. Well, to date anyway, because there could be some more in the future, but again, I highly doubt that. Now they pull to the inside now of the Ferrari. It's going to breeze past it with our V8, even though we have got a smaller engine. It's much more better on acceleration. Doesn't quite have the top end speed though, I wouldn't have thought. And now then we can try and chase down now after the 98 McLaren now. We can try and make a move up the inside line. We're getting very close down to braking. We're just not quite close enough there to make a move up the inside of the MP413. As Coppins put up the fastest lap of the race. I'm guessing that's the Red Bull driver, unless by some miracle the McLaren somehow managed to take the lead of the race. So lap 2 of 26, so going to be some quick fire laps. So the Red Bull lap was about 50 seconds or so. Once we get going down to normal speed, we should be doing laps easily under 40 seconds. Just breeze past the outside there of the McLaren. We've got so much more downforce with our 6-year newer car. It is than that McLaren. Finally now we're back into civilization at least. We can see cars now that we should be racing. But we have got the Brawn as the car in front of us, and the Brawn, it's been very unlucky so far in the championship. It should have won about 3 or 4 of the races, and it's only won 2 of them. And it's had so much bad luck as well. It's ended up so far down the order in quite a few races before. It's going quite slowly here through the corners, so he's got some kind of problem here in the final race. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. It would be just on point for the Brawn as well to have issues here. See that 48-second lap from Coppins in the lead, so some very quick fire laps here. We should be seeing the slower cars maybe even 5, 6, maybe even 7 times now throughout this race. Now that first lap there is just over 50 seconds. Now when you come through the first few corners, the Brawn has pulled away from us once again, but now we pull right over the back and once again pull side by side with it now. Surely that Brawn must have some kind of front wing damage. It's just able to keep in front of us though. Into turn 3, and looking at it, yeah, it's got front wing damage. The whole right side of the front wing's completely gone. So it must have been the bit of carbon fibre that's all flying on the first lap that you can see there. Well, actually, you can't see it there because there's nothing there on the right side of the front wing. So the Brawn there, I mean, it's not in championship contention anyway, but it should be with the races, with the performance that it's capable of having. Then we pull to the inside there of the Brawn. The Brawn's got absolutely no defence to us whatsoever. Although that Brawn is basically the same car as the 2010 Mercedes, because what they used, they just made it a bit bigger to put the fuel tank in. So it had 2 chances of being a good car, and it was good for one of them. Now you actually got a nice panning shot here of all the cars making their way through the final corner, and showing that actually the Brawn's still sticking with us a little bit. Actually, the McLaren's not too far behind either. On to start now of lap 5, catching up now to the back of the slow cars. I'm going to pull to the inside of that McLaren just before we get to turn 1. That was crucial that we got past it there. Otherwise we're going pretty much like the Ferrari gas. So he's stuck up behind the slower car. So he's just weaving out all over the road. Don't even want to try and make an overtake because I don't know what that slower car's going to do up in front, or where this Ferrari's going to go either. And then coming now into the second half of the lap, because you won't really say sectors in this race, it's more just one half now. This would be the second half. And again, we go right up behind the back there of the Ferrari, gets held up quite a bit by that other slow car. It's going to lost so much time. They're going to pull to the inside. Look at that, we lost 4 seconds in that first half of the lap, being stuck behind that slower car. But now inside, we can dive it up the inside line, make the same move that we did to the Brawn as well, mounting the curb there, getting very aggressively over the curb, pretty much getting as much as we can, just about keeping 2 wheels on the grass. So we get up now into P6 of 8, and that's overall as well as in class as well. Now then, can try and get some more. Can give us some good pace like this, because we started in P3, so the pace seems to be fairly okay, although we keep losing 4 seconds per lap with all the slower cars, then it's not going to be working out too well for us, although we have got to try and actually drop now that 2007 Ferrari, because that Ferrari, it was mega in the earlier rounds, and so we were pretty much matching our best time now with 3 of all the slower cars. Yeah, that Ferrari was mega in the earlier rounds, and just slowly dropped off more and more as the round has gone. Of course, it is still slightly in championship contention along as we are as well, but any of us standing a chance of beating the Red Bull, or someone's actually out of the race? Looking at the minimap, it looks like one of the C3 cars, so unfortunate for them, it's not the way you want to end the championship, but it's not going to be making too much difference for us because we're ahead of them anyway, and it's not going to have any contact there with the Red Bull or anything, so if it's something drastic, it's going to need to go wrong for that Red Bull. It's for either me, the BMW Williams, or the 2007 Ferrari to actually take the championship crown from it. Although it is now being held up here by the 72 Lotus, and you've got the BAR Honda, which has somehow now made its way up in second place. It gets held up though by the Lotus, and now that puts the McLaren actually now side by side. Where's this McLaren found this speed from? Going to make his way out on the inside line, going to breeze past the Red Bull, and the Red Bull has a better engine than it, although they did have the engine freeze in 2008, so in effect it's the same spec engines from Mercedes to Renault, so not going to be too much difference. But where is the McLaren finding that speed from? We know back in the actual 2008 real life Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton won the race by about a minute and a half when everyone else gets spinning off in the rain. So that McLaren, he knows his way around this track. He got some pretty good pace around here for what he could do in real life. Maybe he's just channeling that now. I mean, it's about time he actually showed up to a race as well, along with the 2004 Ferrari, which has been replaced here by the 2004 BAR Honda. Which I said on the aforementioned, the points that it scores will go towards the Ferrari's total, because this thing will still be faster than anything from 2003 anyway, so it's still faster than that Williams and the 2002 Ferrari. And the Red Bull now all over the back once again of the McLaren Mercedes here, coming now into the final few corners now of the lap. It's still not quite close enough there to make a move on the inside, but still I think that McLaren now is just pretty much being a cork in the bottle, but around this track anyway. Unless you get a run down the back straight through these corners here, there are not really any overtaking opportunities, although there is a lapped McLaren there. They're going to do this, they're going to catch up to fairly quickly. It looked like this 76 McLaren, but I'm not too sure. Either way though, whichever car it is, that's definitely the 76 McLaren. They're going to be seeing it quite a few more times throughout this race anyway. And they're coming up now into turn 2, and they've now caught up to that McLaren in the place where the Red Bull got held up by the Lotus a few laps ago now. So how is this going to work out? The two McLarens now going to try and work together now to try and hold up the BAR Honda and the Red Bull as well. Now the Red Bull actually gets caught up there behind the McLaren, so that's worked out well. Now actually here comes now the BAR Honda, and they can pull side by side now. The Honda in its first ever race breezes past the McLaren Mercedes, of course, with the unreal acceleration and just engine power that car had. One of the actual good Hondas in recent Formula 1 history. It breezes past the 76 Ferrari also. This thing's got so much good speed, and now it's got the lead of the race, and I don't see any way, honestly, unless it has a crash with one of the slower cars. Honestly, I don't see a way that the McLaren or the Red Bull could come back at it, because through the corners, yeah, they'll be gaining through here. And of course, they've actually got now the 88 McLaren Honda now catching up to, so two different Hondas, two very dominant Honda-powered cars as well. Now they're trying to look for a way through. No, it's going on there. So now, what does that McLaren do? Does it help the McLaren, or does it help the BAR Honda? So it's got alliances for both sides, or does it just get completely out of the way? Well, it's not doing that. No, it comes down this straight now. Which is it going to help? He's going to pull out of the way, and all the cars get through. So the thing you just wanted to pull out of the way, couldn't really decide which you wanted to help. And now such great speed from that BAR Honda. I think that was the 006 or the 005. Can't quite remember which one it was. I think his way was piloted by Jenson Button and Takuma Sato, and got second in the championship in 2004, albeit behind the really dominant 2004 Ferrari that it's replaced for this round. Now then, on to lap 11, so quite a bit further on now, just powering through these laps. We've now caught up to the 2002 Ferrari, and we've got the 2007 Ferrari still right up the back behind us. And if you look at the minimap, you can't even see the car in front of us for position, so yeah, we're pretty much in a no man's land of our own here. Just like 5th place might end up actually being the best that we can get, barring any crashes for any of the other cars up in front still. Of course, there's still over half this race yet to go. As a Ferrari had to look up the race side, we just managed to keep the line covered because there's no way really through there. We can try and make an overtake through. No, we actually set our personal best first sector, which is actually a bit surprising since I had to defend from the Ferrari, but finding some good pace because of course the tyres will be wearing out because everyone will make at least one stop in this race. If it stays dry, then it will be a one-stop for everyone because the tyres, of course, will still wear out, although the actual grip level doesn't really dissipate. And now we've found to the pit crew that we'll be boxing now. At the end now of this lap, we've got the Ferrari getting behind us because it has that 1 year newer engine, and unlike the McLaren to the Red Bull, it does have the advantage in engine over us. Now as we come now into the pits now for what should be our one and only stop of the race, although there is a bit of cloud gathering, so could the rain play a part once again? I mean, with all the races and videos that I've done on the F1 2018 game, it's decided to now, it's when the weather wanted to play a part. I mean, you know, it rained last time out at the Japanese Grand Prix, now it could rain still yet. Now we actually have the first pit box, and I think this is the first time I've ever actually driven a car that's had the first pit box. Thankfully there's no one else here in the pit lane, because if cars come in the pits then we'd have got held up for them. I saw another pit crew out there, so someone else behind us is going to be coming in, or maybe that might be the Brawn, just to get that front wing off and finally get a new one. I don't even know how far behind the Brawn is, and now, if the safety car doesn't come out now, this is great for me, because with how slow this pit lane is, you can probably get lapped in the time you make a pit stop. So, you know, in this game, if you get lapped, then the safety car, you don't lap yourself, so that could have been game over right there if I'd have got lapped. And now the car we're next up to chase is now the 92 Williams, which has got one of the backmarker cars in front of it. Of course, that Williams has caused a bit of grief before back in the Hungarian Grand Prix. They're going to go 3 wide just. How did I miss that? I could have almost just lost off my wheel. Honestly, I thought I hit that then. I could not have been closer. Now we pulled to the inside though of the Williams, and I'm going to just breeze past, of course, 2 Renault powered cars, and that has a V10 in the back of that Williams. There's still no match to our much more advanced V8 engine. Now there's a few more cars there in the pit lane, so I imagine that's all of the other C1 cars which are in pit last lap, since, well, obviously only one, so I imagine this will be everyone else coming in either this lap or on the next one. And we've got 3 cars here in the pit lane, so this actually should jump us up ahead of one of the cars. Now we do get up now into P5, so we've jumped the 2002 Ferrari in the pit lane, so the tyre wear must actually be a factor. Maybe I've just got some good consistency here in this Renault. Now we've got a bit of a gap though to the car behind us, and now we need to try and keep that, because there's no way we can defend if it catches up to us. And now moving a bit further on, we've got a McLaren Honda here stuck in the pit lane. Okay, now it's sat here, you've got the jack in front of it, and where's the pit crew? Why is it just sat here? I know stop-go penalties, I mean, it could have had one of them, but then again the pit crew would still be out here, so why is he just stuck here in the pit lane? Okay, there's a pit crew coming out in front of it, there should be another car coming, so now this McLaren gets to watch someone else make a pit stop that's not itself. Where's the car that's actually going to be coming in then? Okay, here it is. I think that's the 76 McLaren that's coming in now for a pit stop. So now this McLaren Honda just watch. I mean, I've seen this glitch before, back on a few with the older F1 games. I think it happened to me once on F1 2009, and on it happens to on GP4 as well. Sometimes cars just do get randomly stuck in the pit lane, but never seen it here on F1 2018. This is the first, and thankfully it happened to this McLaren and not to me. And also, thankfully it's not in my pit box either, because I'm pretty sure the pit boxes down here might be shared, because there's not 20 of them down this pit lane, I don't think. As the Brawn comes in for a pit stop there as well, but I'm moving a bit further on. We've still got the BAR Honda, so at least this Honda's having a good time, unlike the one stuck in the pit lane in the back of that McLaren. And then the Red Bull is all over the back of it now. These two cars absolutely polar opposites. The Red Bull amazing through the corners, but terrible in straight line speed, even in the 2010 season compared to the 2010 Ferrari and McLaren in that as well. And then we've got the BAR Honda, monstrous in straight line speed, but terrible through the corners compared to that Red Bull. Now they're going to breeze past all these solid cars. Now they've got the 78 ground effect Lotus here in front of it now. Now is that Lotus going to play a part now? Actually, it's going to hold up both of these 2 cars here though. Now it's the Honda actually gets held up now. The Red Bull's going to try and make it side by side. And he actually sneaks past. A great move from that Red Bull there, just to sneak past. So opportunistic from the Red Bull. How did they think of that? I mean, the Ferrari, the Honda as it is now, dinked out to move past, and the Red Bull just set it right outside. You think with the acceleration of that BAR Honda, that he should have kept that in front, but I don't know where that Red Bull found that speed from. Either way, it now retakes the lead of the race, and as things stand right now, that's going to be the championship win there for the Red Bull. But I'm moving a bit further on. Then McLaren has finally made it out of the pit lane, but it is now chucking it down with rain. So the rain once again is time to play part. Okay, there's a wheel on the side of the road. Someone's going to need that. So yeah, imagine there might be a 3-wheel car making its way back into the pit lane. Now then, onto lap 20. The rain really is coming down now. Now then we've got the, what's this, the 92 Williams once again being held up here by one of the C3 cars. We're going to pretty much deja vu to what we did half the race ago and make a move up the inside side by side. And we go and move up the inside of that C3 car as well. But now we're going to be coming in now for wet tyres. The pit crew have called us in, and honestly, even with grooves on these tyres, they're not the grooves you want when you're going to try and actually dissipate water. Now we're catching out to the 70 loads and loads of weeds across the road. Oh my god, how did I miss that? If I thought the first one was close, genuinely, how did I miss that? If you go back and slow mo that, I'm sure I hit that. But thankfully, like a janky hitbox or something didn't trigger there, because honestly, I should have been wiped out there by that Lotus. I don't know what he was doing, just weaving across the road. I mean, I know he hasn't got the most grip in the world, but maybe we really just can't keep himself on the road like that. We're just going straight on the racing line. I've got easily got the inside of it. Now we're coming in now for the wet tyres. Of course, since we've got the older spec of tyres, you've only got wet or dry. There's no intermediate. So even if the rain does get worse, now we're staying on these tyres now until the end of the race. And crucially though, we find a gap in the traffic to bring ourselves out in as well. And we've got a few more cars there stacking up through the pit lane. So yeah, there is still only 10 pit boxes. And we've come out ahead of the Brawn. We're already ahead of it. I've lapped the Brawn. If this doesn't sum up the Brawn's Championship, really, I don't really know what does. It's a lap down to me in the slowest car in C1. And honestly, if it's a lap down to me, it might even be behind a few of the C2 cars with how much it was struggling with that front wing damage earlier on. The 98 McLaren might actually be in front of it. I wouldn't be too surprised if it was. Though it's still got 5 laps left, and if that thing's got a new front wing on it, which it probably has, it's going to be monstrous now in these conditions along with the Red Bull, and which is going to give the Red Bull, honestly, even more of a lead. And looking behind now, we've got the 2007 Ferrari, which is the car behind us now for position. So I don't know where the 2002 Ferrari's gone. It's just dropped off the face of the earth, unless that's had contact with something. And it makes its way past the 92 Williams there, easy as you like. And it's got quite a few more. It's actually got quite a lot of traffic here in front of it now. Just a bunch of C3 cars as well. So if you can make its way through there, it might actually end up catching on to us, because you think it'd have more downforce, and the car behind that is the 98 McLaren, so it's got no pressure from behind. They need to try and make a race. Actually, no, they contact, and the Ferrari's out. The Ferrari's lost his wheel, and the Ferrari's been taken out by one of the back markers. And now that's championship over for the 2007 Ferrari. Now you've actually got the safety car called out. The first time on this game you've actually seen the safety car. Bernd Mailander can finally leave the end of the pit lane and circulate around on the track with us. And now a safety car in the dying laps of the championship deciding race as well. It's going to bunch all of us up, and now this puts me right back now in contention. Now we can pass the safety car, since unfortunately I'm not leading the race. I'd love to be leading it, as Mizalki's out the race. I imagine that's the Ferrari driver. But now moving on to lap 24, we're still not caught up to the safety car queue yet, because now we're stuck behind the 98. Whereas it may be the 88 McLaren Honda thing is. And okay, safety car's coming in this lap. Not even waiting for us to catch up. Really? We could have had a massive shootout if we just had, well, a 2-lap shootout with all of us spaced out, or a 1-lap shootout with all of us together. Either way, no, it's going to be the Red Bull which leads us back to green. Of course, now we're under safety car speed still, so we can't even like blast our way to catch back up to the group of cars here in front. Actually, there's quite a gap. We've got 2 cars in between the Red Bull and the BA Honda now as we go back to green, and the Honda just slides its way through both these back marker cars. But in the wet conditions, I don't see any way this thing's going to catch up to the Red Bull. And we've got the BMW Williams as well, which has now brought itself into play. You didn't really see any of this thing all right. I think it's actually, besides the formation lap, it's the first time you've actually seen this car. But yeah, just like with the Honda, there's no way, with the lack of air on those 2 cars, they're going to catch up. And you've got the 2008 McLaren, which has dropped back a little bit from the start, but all things considered, for how it's been in this championship so far, it's been a fairly good race for it. Can these two do anything to catch up to the Red Bull? Honestly, I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure the Red Bull's just going to pull away now into the distance, which it is. It just comes there under the bridge, and the Honda in that ain't even in the same camera shot. Look at that massive gap that's pulled already. That's what, at least triple, maybe even times 4 the gap that you had just 1 lap ago. 1 lap ago from the safety car restart. Now, as we're coming up now, we're going to make a move. Now, another one of the safety cars is wheeling all over the place. So the C3 cars with their huge lack of downforce, we're really struggling here in these wet conditions as well. They're struggling in dry conditions anyway, but in the wet it's going to be even worse. But now we've got 1 more lap to go. And I think it's going to be a P5 finish, although the 3 cars in front of us aren't too far up the road, so there's still a chance that we could come away with a podium, maybe even the win. Until the Red Bull crosses the finish line, it's not over. Although we're still 8 seconds down, so yeah, pretty much getting towards torrential rain now, but these are the tyres that you stick on anyway in the wet conditions regardless. So now we've got half a lap left to go, so honestly, let's just enjoy this final lap. We're 1.2 seconds down, so driving in the rain is still quicker than being stuck behind one of the C3 cars. We have got maybe 2-3 more cars left. We've got one of the C2 cars there in front of us, but we can't quite see which one it is. We can't really see anything really in these wet conditions, which is probably why the Ferrari got taken out by one of the back markers earlier on as well. And then you've got one of the C3 cars there moves onto the inside line. We can easily make the way past that one, so thankfully that one gets out of the way. I think this is the 98 McLaren Mercedes in front of us. Now is this thing going to get out of our way? And we have to make a move there around the outside line. As the Red Bull, I think that is, wins the race, and now we're still behind the 72 Lotus. And for the final time in this championship, why not? Of course it'll be the slowest car here. We just squirm away up the inside line. Now they're coming around the final corner. It's going to be a P5 finish. Honestly, that was I thought there'd be a few more casualties from that race than what actually happened. Honestly, I think the only casualty really was the Brawn. And then of course you had the McLaren, which was stuck in the pit lane for God knows how many laps. If that thing hasn't finished in last, I'd be very surprised as well. There you can see the top three very happy with how the results have gone. Of course they get a nice trophy as well to add to their AI collection. And I don't know, was it the Red Bull that took the victory? I'm pretty sure Coppins though was the Red Bull driver. I can't quite see. We'll see from the podium. We get a camera shot really of the winning car. Indeed, there's the Red Bull. So it is the Red Bull that wins the race. And with that, honestly, it should have won the championship now as well. Taking a look at the final race results of this Classic Cars Championship, and it would be the Red Bull to take the victory, 8.5 seconds clear of the 2004 BAR Honda, and he pulled what? I'd say at least 6 or 7 seconds of that in what, a lap and a half, so just dominant in the wet conditions there from the Red Bull. The Williams rounds off the final podium with the 2008 McLaren in 4th, themselves in P5, with the 2002 Ferrari finishing in the end as the car behind us, with the 98 McLaren coming home in 7th place ahead of the Brawn, so the Brawn really did have quite the mare in this race, with the 92 Williams coming home in 9th, and then the 95 Ferrari rounding out the top 10. The 88 McLaren comes home in P11, and honours in C3 go to the 79 Ferrari, ahead of the 78 Team Lotus, which then finished ahead of the 72 Lotus, and then the 76 McLaren, then followed down by the 1991 McLaren, which was the one that got stuck in the pit lane, so it finished last of the cars that actually finished the race. Then we have the 2007 Ferrari, the 76 Ferrari, the 96 Williams, and then the 82 McLaren as the 4 retirements from this final race. Now moving on to the final point standings, and it would indeed be the 2010 Red Bull RB6 that takes the glory in C1 and overall, and is now the best classic car in this game and takes the win 9 points ahead of the 2003 Williams. And then we come home in 3rd place in the slowest car. I mean, if that's not a good result, I don't know what is. Remember back to my first race in the championship? My goal for this was to not finish in 8th place or whatever last place would end up being in C1 and come away with a podium position in the championship. That honestly is a great result. And the 2007 Ferrari finishes on the amount of points we started this race with and just ended up beating the 2004 Ferrari in the end. And the Brawn finishes in P6 ahead of the 2002 Ferrari, and the 2008 McLaren actually ends up finishing in last place in class. And then honours in C2 go to the 1998 McLaren, and 100 points, 4 points clear of the 92 Williams, and there's quite a gap down to the 95 Ferrari, then the 88 McLaren, which beat the 91 due to it being stuck in the pit lane really in this race, and then the 96 Williams finishes last in C2, which means honours in C3 go to the 1979 Ferrari. Then in 16th place was the 78 Lotus, then the 76 Ferrari ahead of the 82 McLaren, which you'd think would have been the fastest car in class, but that thing was just so unreliable in the championship. Then in 19th place was the 1972 Lotus, and then rounding off the cars in 20th place is James Hunt's championship winning 1976 McLaren. If you enjoyed this championship, definitely leave a like on this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, they'll be linked down below in the description. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.